The rectus femoris is one of the bigger quad muscles. Basically, if you're laying on your stomach flat, it's going to be the first thing to touch the roller or ball, whatever you're going to be using. So it's pretty easy to find, and it's usually pretty tight. It runs all the way to your kneecap and all the way up to pretty much your hip area. So here I'm using a foam roller. I'm propping myself up on a pretty tall mat, and I have an additional mat Airex pad for my knee because it's concrete under the carpet, not very comfortable. So notice the speed that I'm going at, very, very slow, slower than a speed bump. You're going to probe and look for very painful spots, stay there, breathe, and you can maybe floss on it very, very, very softly. So you just kind of roll back and forth, very, very small movements. So you're going to see me kind of do it here, but it's probably hard to see because I'm doing very like millimeters of movement. Okay, be sure not to let your back arch, as I'm going to discuss that a little bit further. Here I'm kind of holding myself up so that I'm not too arched, but you may get tired from doing this. So from here, you're basically going to find your suitable height. So I'm going to switch from 4 pads to 3, just to make it a little bit shorter, and see how that feels for my back. So if I were to go completely limp, you'll see a pretty good arch there, which is bad. So let's make it even shorter. Your goal is to get your back as neutral as possible while doing this, because this muscle could take quite a while to release. Okay, this isn't too bad. If I go limp there, it's not too arched. Now let's go to the flattest. So if you're using a yoga mat at home, this is probably going to be what you will have at your disposal. So even when going completely flat, you see an arch in the back. So if this happens, you can use a pad or pillow and put it on your tummy. Okay? That'll give you some cushion and it won't let your back arch way too much. Okay, so now we're going to move on to using a lacrosse ball. So I'll probably start with a tennis ball to get a good feel for it if you can't handle the lacrosse ball yet. And the same rules apply. Go nice and slow, find the spots, breathe until you feel the release. Also, with the foam roller earlier, you could do 2 legs at once if you have a pretty long foam roller. And that's probably a little bit better to start off if you can't handle the pain. Okay, and finally I'm going to use the tiger tail. So if you have some kind of rolling pin or something, here's another version you can do if you don't want to be laying on your stomach. Okay, nice and slow. Find the spots and grind there. And if that bothers you having a straight leg, you can prop a little pad under it so that your feet doesn't go numb or anything like that. Make sure to relax it, of course. And breathe and breathe and breathe. Okay, if your hands get tired, you can use your forearms to roll it. It'll really depend on what you have though. Maybe a broomstick will still work. And of course you can always use your fingers and thumbs too. And knuckles.